It's Christmas and time to celebrate the true meaning of Christmas, Part 1. Breakfast Bible Bites will continue with Psalm 70 after Christmas. But for the next week or so, let's talk about Christmas and why it is so important. Sadly, it has morphed into something unoriginal in these United States. While it still retains the concept of love, which is expressed by gift giving, and perhaps a feast on Christmas Day. The true meaning of the celebration has been lost to the world and even among many Christians. So today I would like to begin a study on Christmas, answering the question of why Christmas is so important, and the answer goes way beyond the nativity. So what's the big deal about Christmas? Some may think it's about searching and setting up the largest and most audacious Christmas tree possible. Some like to sing about the snow and riding in a one-horse open sleigh, and although a quaint idea, I'm told that once the laptop blanket gets covered with snow clumps thrown from the horse's hooves, it isn't so pleasant. Maybe it's about choosing the perfect gift for someone you love. For others, it may be seeing friends and family sharing in a feast around the family table and intimate conversation afterwards. Whatever your highlight for the holidays, rarely do they meet our expectation for the perfect Christmas that seems to be just beyond our grasp, leaving many the week after, exhausted and questioning, what's the big deal anyway? Bah humbuggers may try and argue that the actual date of Christmas, is, being December 25th, was transposed onto a pagan Roman holiday, so they won't participate in the Christmas celebration. Those with scholarly quests for detail may find some qualifying information that Christ's birth actually occurred in the autumn around the Feast of Trumpets, while still others list historical facts that argue with the evidence revealing his actual birth in conjunction with the spring around the Jewish Feast of First Fruits. And while the possibilities may have some importance, none of these hypotheses or physical days supplant the tangible purpose and blessings that deal with the real reason we should celebrate Christmas. So you may be inclined to ask the real reason for the season that is so easily buried in the hubbub of business and holiday confabulation. The answer is pretty simple. The birth of Christ represents the centerpiece of human history. Without Christmas, there would have been no one able to satisfy and appease the Father's wrath against all humanity and open the gate that leads to heaven. That's in Matthew 7:13. Leaving us to return to dust, and for dust we are, and to dust we shall return. I'm reading in Romans 1:18. For God's wrath is revealed from heaven against all godlessness and unrighteousness of people who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. We follow God's declaration of righteousness with these passages from Romans 5:8 through 11. But God proves his own love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, much more than since we have been declared righteous by his blood, we shall be saved through him from wrath. For if while we were enemies we were reconciled to God through the death of his Son, that how much more, having been reconciled, will we be saved by his life? And not only that, but we also rejoice in God through our Lord Jesus Christ. We have now received this reconciliation through him. This profound expression of God's love for lost humanity is the reason for the season, and it begins in a stable with a little baby nestled in a manger.